Charles's research into monarchy's ties to slavery facing criticism. He knows enough to apologize, by Mary sworn. For the past few years, countries and people that were affected by the slave trade have been demanding acknowledgement as well as reparations. This was evident when Prince William and Princess Kate traveled to the Caribbean in 2022. The couple experienced protests when they were in Belize as well as Jamaica. Jamaica is in the process of removing King Charles as their country's head of state, which many other Commonwealth countries have done in the past. During the Prince and Princess of Wales banquet with the Jamaican Prime Minister, he expressed his desire to move on from the royal family. The Guardian has publicly apologized for its founder's role during the slave trade. Since then, the online media has called out the royal family for its involvement and lack of sincere apologies. Indeed, so far, members of the royal family have only offered their sympathies and deepest regrets for the slave trade, but have never acknowledged their ancestors' clear involvement, support and profits. The royal family's long involvement in the slave trade, since the Guardian's statement, the media has published an article detailing which kings and queens had a direct impact, influence and profit from the slave trade. In 1564, Queen Elizabeth I gave a royal ship to the slave trader John Hawkins in return for profits he made during his voyage. Other royals include King James I, King Charles I and II. In 1677, King James II was gifted 500 guineas for his extraordinary services as governor of the Royal African Company. As the Guardian detailed, for 270 years, from Queen Elizabeth I to King William IV, the royal family profited from slavery. King Charles opens an investigation into his family's involvement in the slave trade. As mentioned before, the royal family have only expressed the deepest sorrow for the atrocities that slavery brought. Politics polls. At Politics Pulse, UN experts are leading calls for the British government and royal family to investigate their historical links to transatlantic slavery and take steps toward restorative justice. Should the UK take steps towards restorative justice? #poll, yes 50.1%, number 45.7%, don't know 4.2%, 1,345 votes. Final results, 5:14 a.m. March 29, 2023. In a surprising turn of events, after being called out by the media and the public, King Charles has authorized an investigation to dive into the royal family's ties with slavery. Buckingham Palace released a statement shortly after the Guardian contacted them. The media shared a detailed document concerning the British monarchy's deep involvement in the slave trade. In the palace's statement, they didn't acknowledge the document but have shown their support for the research. His is an issue that His Majesty takes profoundly seriously. As His Majesty told the Commonwealth heads of government reception in Rwanda last year, I cannot describe the depths of my personal sorrow at the suffering of so many, as I continue to deepen my own understanding of slavery's enduring impact. That process has continued with vigor and determination since His Majesty's accession. Historic Royal Palaces is a partner in an independent research project, which began in October last year, that is exploring, among other issues, the links between the British monarchy and the transatlantic slave trade during the late 17th and 18th centuries. Related articles, very much greater than King Charles III, the challenges that lie ahead for the monarch, very much greater than King Charles, could go against Queen Elizabeth by investigating dark moment in royal family history, very much greater than who is Lady Hussey. Prince William's godmother who has rocked the royal family with new racism scandal. Research on the royal family in the slave trade isn't enough. Despite the surprising turn of events from King Charles, many have criticized the royal family as the research isn't enough. As reported by The Guardian, the research is being co-supervised by Historic Royal Palaces, HRP, and Dr. Edmund Smith, of Manchester University. De Koning's research. The research should be completed by 2026. This is where the issue occurs. According to Eric Phillips, the Vice Chair of the CARICOM Reparation Commission, the King should know enough about his own family history to apologize. Related stories. Ken Munn, at Kenjmun. The Guardian is getting its teeth into the secrets of the royal family's finances. One way into the ongoing series. The Colston Connection. How Prince William's Kensington Palace home is linked to slavery. The CARICOM Reparation Commission represents 20 Caribbean countries where European countries had slaves working on plantations. I do believe King Charles knows enough to apologize, and should. 2026 is several years away and the issue of reparations is only gaining momentum. Adding, as such, King Charles should extol the British government to engage CARICOM through a special commission to fully appreciate the impacts and legacies of the slave trade and to find practical solutions to address reparatory justice. Sources used: The Guardian. The British kings and queens who supported and profited from slavery. The Guardian. King Charles signals first explicit support for research into monarchy's slavery ties.